Welcome to this supplement to the IP Expert Lab Fundamentals and Written Exam Bootcamp. My name is Anthony Sequeira, the primary instructor for that particular event, and we are going to take a look at, in this video, the combination, the marriage of two technologies. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the point-to-point protocol when running over frame relay. That's right. What if we're in the lab exam environment and they want us to go ahead and take advantage of Chap Authentication, but over a frame relay circuit? Well, we need PPP over frame. In this demonstration, I'll demo this technology's configuration, obviously, but perhaps most importantly, we're going to see what it looks like when it's working, so that we know what a healthy PPP over frame circuit looks like, so we can count on those points in the lab exam. The first thing I do mentally is I think about my Chap configuration. And in this case, I'm going to set up a username and password entry for the device that is going to be authenticating against us. We're going to build this PPP over frame circuit utilizing the R2 device and the R4 device. So here on R2, I do a username and password entry for the R4 device. Now I'm still thinking in terms of the PPP config. So I'm going to go ahead and create a virtual template interface. The virtual template interface is where we're going to put our IP and PPP configuration. Notice we're in interface configuration mode now. I'll go ahead and add the appropriate IP address. Let's say we see in our diagram that is 172.16.1.2 with the appropriate mask from our diagram. Make sure you don't have any typos there. That'd be a terrible way to lose points in your lab exam. Now we're going to go in and we're going to add our Chap authentication to that virtual template. And just to have a little fun, I'm sending different names here, as you can see, compared to what is the actual router host name. So here I'm going to say PPP Chap hostname router2 instead of the abbreviated R2 that is the actual host name of this particular device. All right, we're going to exit out of that interface here, and I am going to enter interface configuration mode for serial 010. And we are going to set the encapsulation on that physical interface to none other than, dun dun dun, frame relay. Okay, now, here's the binding of the virtual template to the frame circuit. Watch how easy this is. I'm going to say frame-relay, and then I'm going to say interface-delcy, and we're going to specify our delcy to router 4, that's 204, and we're going to say PPP, and then we're going to say virtual template 1. So that's how we're binding that virtual template to this interface. I can go ahead and do a no shut on this side, but we know nothing's going to work here until we get the other side properly configured. Notice the interface does come into the up state from a physical standpoint, but we know the layer 2 state of the link, oh, look at this, comes right up following that. It is also up, and that's because of the frame relay. That frame relay ingredient has us in that up state. All right, now let's go over to the R4 device and polish off this configuration. Okay, here's R4. It's a mirror of the config, isn't it? So it shouldn't be too bad at all. We're going to set up the username and password entry for our particular device. Notice that password, as you know, little review of Chap here, that password has to match on each device, doesn't it? It's a shared secret for the challenge handshake authentication protocol. So that's got to match. It is a shared secret, folks. All right, next up, what do? We create our virtual template interface. Virtual template 1. That number, of course, is locally significant. Doesn't have to match on both devices. And one of the things you would want to do in the lab exam, let me just show you. Before you were to create something like this, let me show you 1 second here. Let me get this IP address and mask typed in properly. You would want to do show IP interface brief before you create your virtual template, because you would hate to overwrite one that might already be in existence and being utilized on the particular device. All right, we've got our PPP Authentication Chap, and then we've got our PPP Chap host name, and in this case, it is going to be router spelled out 4. All right, excellent. Now we're going to go into the appropriate physical interface on router 4. We're going to say ncap frame, and then we're going to say frame relay interface del C, and it's going to be 402 on this box, PPP virtual template 1, and then we're going to do, watch this, just to have some fun, Debug Ppp Negotiation, and I better do debug. There we go. And now we'll go ahead and do our no shut and watch what happens. The frame relay circuit's going to come up, and then we should see the PPP protocol engage in the negotiation of the PPP adjacency, and that's going to include all of our Chap authentication. So we can see this whole magic number process being carried out and these Chap authentication protocol requests. And we should eventually see success here. And I see authenticating quickly flash by. Look at this. Authenticating the unauthenticated user. Router 4 we're sending for credentials. Success. I see lots of happy messages here. All right, here's what it's going to look like if you did it correctly. We'll do a show IP interface brief. Couple of things here, folks. The physical interface, notice it's going to be in the up status. The virtual template, very deceptive. It will stay in the down status. Down, doobie, down. All right, sorry. Always have to sing in my videos. I'm sorry. All right, so it's down, but that's normal. Notice our virtual access interface gets created, gets cloned from the virtual template, and it is going to be up. And that's the magic there. The physical up, the virtual access up. I'm getting a warm, fuzzy feeling inside that this ultimate test of the circuit, the ping test, is going to succeed. And it does. So folks, we have just successfully built and verified a PPP over frame relay circuit. And by the way, don't forget to do your undebug all. Whoops, you got to spell that right. Okay, so that's a great configuration there that we saw, great verification, and I hope you enjoyed this supplement to our Routing and Switching Lab Fundamentals and Written Exam Bootcamp. Thanks for joining us.